Okay, so today I'm going to talk about my first love. Now, before I start, you should know one thing about me. I don't get crushes easily. It's actually pretty rare for me to genuinely like someone. I'm not saying this to act pick-me, so when this happened, it was kind of unexpected. I was in 8th grade at the time, and every day I used to go to my math tuition classes with my cousin's sister. There was this guy who also came to those classes. He was in 10th grade, so there was about a 2-year age difference between us. The thing is, he wasn't actually a permanent student in my batch. Since it was his board year, my tuition teacher would sometimes ask him to stay back after his own class and study with our batch. So he would only be there occasionally, which somehow made his presence even more noticeable whenever he showed up. And honestly, he was such a cute guy. When I think back to that time, I still remember him wearing this white t-shirt with black lowers. For some reason, that outfit is just permanently stored in my memory. He looked really good in it. What stood out to me the most wasn't even that he was handsome. It was the innocence on his face. He had this very calm and cute vibe that made him different from other boys I had seen around me. Now, looking back, I can admit that I was definitely attracted to him because of his looks at first. But I was only in 8th grade, and I was entering a more mature stage of my life. Of course, I had had childhood crushes before, the kind you have in 3rd or 5th grade, but those never felt serious and usually disappeared as quickly as they came. This felt different, even though I didn't realize it at the time. I wasn't constantly thinking about crushes or relationships, so I never really stopped to question what I was feeling. I just continued going to tuition classes as usual, completely unaware that this small crush was slowly becoming something much bigger in the future. There was also this one really funny incident that I still remember. One day, I had made a random assumption about my tuition teacher. It wasn't related to studies at all. It was just one of those silly thoughts that pop into your head when you're a kid. Somehow, my friend ended up telling my tuition teacher about it in front of everyone. The moment she heard it, the entire class started laughing. And yes, he laughed too. But what I remember the most is that he looked at me and smiled while laughing. At the time, I was completely embarrassed. I probably wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. But looking back now, it's one of those tiny moments that stayed in my memory for years. And the funny thing is, I still didn't realize I had feelings for him. Or at least, that's what I thought. Because not long after that, something happened between us that I still remember years later. Now, when I say something happened between us that I still remember years later, don't expect anything dramatic. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't some movie scene. And honestly, it wasn't even that serious. But for some reason, it's one of those memories that has stayed with me all these years. So my tuition teacher taught at her house, and the entrance wasn't very spacious. There was this metal grill gate, and usually only one person could comfortably pass through at a time. One day, I was arriving for class while he was leaving. We ended up reaching the gate at almost the same moment. Since there wasn't much space, I decided to let him go first. My sister was standing behind me, and a few other students were also coming in, so it was getting crowded. To make space, I opened the gate and basically hid behind it. And when I say hid behind it, I mean I literally held the gate right in front of my face and stood there awkwardly, waiting for him to pass. Looking back, I have absolutely no idea why I thought that was the best solution. Anyway, he started walking forward, and for a second he stopped. He looked directly at me. And then he smiled. I smiled back. That's it. That was the entire incident. No dramatic music, no romantic confession. Nothing. Just two people standing near a crowded tuition gate, smiling at each other for a second. But I don't know why that moment stayed with me. Maybe because it felt so genuine. Maybe because I wasn't expecting it. Or maybe because when you're young, the smallest moments end up taking up the biggest space in your memory. I remember my sister smiling too, and I was just standing there trying to act normal, even though internally I was probably replaying that smile 100 times. At that point, I still wasn't fully aware of how much I liked him.